Hello and welcome to another episode of the Interlocking Loops Flosstube. I'm your host Angela. This is a Flosstube about cross stitching, but also about some of the other hobbies and crafts I enjoy. So let's sit down and talk a spell. Okay, let's jump into finished objects. I don't have any that's fully finished, but I do have some where the stitching is complete. And the first one is one by Hands On Design, Automaker's Farm. This one is in conjunction with Priscilla of Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. If you look at that, you can pick to do the whole thing or just some sections of it into smalls, and that's what I decided to do. I used 14 count chalkboard black Ada. It's more of a dark gray, and I did the barn and the silo. So I think that turned out really well. That's a fun one for fall. Next year I may pick a different section of this thing for another small. They'll look cute in a grouping together, I think. Okay, let's see. My next one I wanted to talk briefly about is another one by Lizzie Kate. Last time we talked, I had just finished one in this group of Autumn Smalls, number 185. It has 4 small patterns. I finished the autumn last time. And typically what I do when I finish a project is I would put, for example, this leaflet away in a certain storage container and consider it done, and the finished project in another area and consider it pretty much ready for fully finishing when I get around to that. But I felt like I'd done 3 of the 4 already, and I didn't know that I wanted to put that in there. The only one I hadn't done is this one right here. Well, what I decided to do is just go ahead and stitch it. I finished it, started and finished it in one day. I did make some changes. I changed the bottom of the pattern, and I changed some of the colors, but I think it'll be adorable. I don't know how well you can kind of see that. But I love the blue pumpkins. So I changed a little bit of that, and I'm really happy with it. It's on 14 count Ada. I did all of them on the same oatmeal color. It's maybe hard to tell exactly about the color it has. There it is next to white. So I just love a blue pumpkin. So that one is finished. Okay. Then let's get into, it was Sampler September or September Soiree last month as well. So I decided to join in on that a little bit. And the one I have been working on for Sampler September is Amaline Sampler by October House Fiber Arts. And this isn't the best picture, but the sampler is really cute. And I have it mostly done. I'm stitching on what I thought was 16 count coffee tea dyed Ada. I really think is actually 18 count. And it's in variegated blue. I believe the color's Weeks Dye Works Father's Day. I haven't done any more than this because I'm running out of floss. So I haven't decided if I'm going to finish it exactly as called for with different colors, if I should try to source the one skein, or if I want to modify the pattern some, and I seem to do that a lot. So I'm at a thinking point with that, and so I haven't done any further. Can you tell that variegation? Oh, it's pretty. So for Sampler September, that's what I got done. The other thing I started, because I may have talked to you guys last time about I'm learning to stitch on fabric other than Ada. I started Karen Behringer by Summerhouse Stitchworks. I think I mentioned this pattern in the past. It was a purchase. I swapped out the colors that she used for colors I chose and started this on some even weave. It's actually, I believe, on 32 count even weave, 28 count even weave. And it may be slightly hard to see because I did pick some pastel colors. And this is, I believe, ivory fabric color. I can get all my parts to behave here. Can you see that very well? It's hard to see, but there's pinks, there's yellows, there's purples, and blues so far. The top line. So it's also the first time I'm actually starting in the top corner, because I don't usually do that. I usually start from the very middle. But it's coming along well. So that skill of being able to see the boxes better is working. So I'm excited about that. So we'll see what I get done this next month on that. So that was for Sampler Soiree for the month of September. All right. The next thing I've been working on, I'm on the subscriber list for That So Calico, and she occasionally has free patterns. And Jack was one of them. Dig those oranges. So that's another thing I've been working on, 14 count chalkboard, Ada. So I have at least a good 35% maybe done. So I'm hoping to get more of this pumpkin filled in and maybe get it finished by the next time we talk. But I think a good orange is hard to beat, and it does pop on this black. So that's what's been taking up my time for the most part. Since we talked, we had been doing some shearing. You know, we have livestock and some sheep. I injured my hand and couldn't do any knitting or crochet, but I was able to at least hold a needle and do a little bit of stitching. So that's why there's maybe more done than we would have expected. All right, let's talk about acquisitions. I am in the Weeks Dye Work Club, and it was Silver Charm. And this is part of the Fat Quarter Shop. And we've got Graphite, King Mackerel, Tin Roof, Seagull, and Pebble, and Porpoise. All these pretty silvers by Weeks Dye Works. So they came, as well as I'm in the Classic Colorworks Club. And it was Magic Black, was last month. And it has Hickory Sticks, Sticks and Twigs, Cauldron, Black Coffee, Blackbird, and Caterpillar. Many colors that are very, very popular. That I tend to use a lot. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's some really pretty ones in there. So that came. I also bought the Rose Motif Sampler by JBW Designs, because I just thought that looked so delicate. Isn't that pretty? I thought maybe I'd consider doing that. If not in red, maybe a pink, a fairly vibrant pink would be nice. I also bought a Blackbird Designs book in Friendship's Way. I'll show you the back too. Some really pretty things in there. All right, two other things I purchased. And if you're into samplers, try to see if you can find this on Etsy, which is where I found it. The gal I bought it from doesn't have any more, but check. You can find on, maybe look on eBay. The Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly Complete Collection from 1991 to 2015. It has PDFs that you can download and print, and it has some of the popular ones going around now that you can buy, yes, separately. Annie's magazine, Annie'sCraftStore.com actually has some of the individual magazines that you can download and get the patterns that way. But this is a treasure trove of patterns. And since I seem to be attracted to samplers now, this was a must-have for me, and I can already tell you it's saved me money compared to all the ones I would have had to buy individually, buying them on this. So the last purchase And I had the pattern before, but my question for you today is actually which fabric. The fabric part is the part I recently purchased. The pattern is by Hands On Design, Let's Talk Autumn. And I'm hoping I'm going to get a chance to get this started. I started working on Christmas present things now. But I have two different fabric colors because I didn't want to make it on black. I have a 16 count black chocolate Aida. And I have a 16 count raspberry Aida. So one reminds me of kind of a chocolate cherry color. And this looks more like coffee grounds color to me. The original was done on black. I think they could both be really pretty. So if you have an opinion, leave a comment below. By the way, if you like the videos and want to keep up with my creative craftiness, then go ahead and hit the like button and hit subscribe, and they will automatically come to you. So, as far as other things I've been working on, I do spin and make yarn, and I've been working on a hat. It has some great texture. It's harder to see in this particular yarn. It typically calls for Malabrigo Rios, which is a worsted weight one skein yarn. It's Field of Wildflowers by Joji Locatelli. And here it is. You can kind of see the slip stitches and things she has going on in this pattern that make it so pretty. I've made it before, but I wanted to make it again. And that's coming along well. Let me show you that. So it's in greens. I forget exactly what the fiber content is when I spun it, but it's got some fun stuff going on texture wise, just starting here at the top. It's kind of in blues and greens, and I have a total of 2 skeins of that. Here's one I haven't broken into yet, but it's kind of has some yellow, some greens, a little bits of white. Pretty colors. So that I've been working on a little bit since I was able to start knitting a little bit again. And the last crafty thing I've been working on has been my crochet shawl. And it's, I think I've shown this before, it's growing. It's taking a little bit longer to do the rows. It's a good project. And it's being knit in fingering weight. This is the first color. Then I'm going to go to a blue color and then a green color. So here's the blue. I think it will look nice next to the pink. I don't know how well you can tell that, but it has some of the same blue in it. The yarn is by Lady Men Fiber Arts, and I only have Eyes for You as an EWE is the first color. The second one is Head in the Clouds. And the third one's a green color, which is Starting Point. It's kind of a variegated green. I think will look nice next to the blue. So that's coming along. And the official pattern I found on YouTube under, I think it's Moss Stitch Triangle or Moss Stitch Shawl. Look through a few of the tutorials till you kind of get the pattern. And you can make it as big or as small as you like and end whenever you so desire. And that's, once I kind of got the hang of the pattern, I'm just going to go till it's the size I want and stop there. So I think it'll be some fun colors. Just nothing better than, you know, if you're knitting or crocheting with some really yarn you think is really pretty. And I think this is pretty fantastic stuff. So I hope everybody's doing well and getting some crafting time in, some relaxation, and staying healthy. I know this is another quick episode, but next time we can talk a little bit about I'm going to be a grandma. Now, it's not in the traditional sense. My daughter's adopting a kitten. So we get to find out a little bit more about the kitten next time. And if it's a girl or boy, I do know what color it is. It's kind of an off orange color, a light orange. So that'll be exciting. And until then, happy crafting. Bye-bye.